Have you ever wondered why life keeps testing you no matter how hard you try? Why challenges seem endless and progress often feels painfully slow? The truth is not that fate has sealed your path. It's that every day you're being invited to choose your attitude, your response, your courage, your discipline. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control events, we can always control how we meet them. Today, we explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons that are not optional suggestions, but essential requirements for a meaningful life. Let's begin. 1. Truth and deception. In a world overflowing with noise, manipulation, and half-truths, the Stoics remind us that truth is not merely a virtue. It is a form of inner protection. Marcus Aurelius wrote that truth never harms anyone. What harms us is clinging to our own illusions. When we insist on believing what is convenient instead of what is real, we cloud our judgment and weaken our character. Practicing truth requires courage, the courage to admit mistakes, to question assumptions, and to examine our own motives honestly. It also demands patience, because truth often reveals itself slowly, beneath layers of emotion and bias. In daily life, this means pausing before reacting, evaluating information with reason, and refusing to be seduced by flattery or fear. It means educating ourselves about deception, not to become cynical, but to remain clear-sighted. When we choose truth, we choose freedom. Freedom from confusion, from manipulation, and from self-deception. In a world that constantly pulls us away from ourselves, truth becomes the anchor that keeps us steady, grounded, and aligned with our highest values. 2. Prioritize mutual respect in relationships. Stoicism teaches that no relationship can thrive without mutual respect. Seneca famously said that no one is truly free unless they master themselves. And this mastery includes how we treat others. Respect is not simply avoiding harm. It is the active practice of listening, understanding, and valuing another person's perspective. When we respect others, we create space for trust, cooperation, and emotional safety. Consider the relationship between a teacher and a student. When the teacher listens with patience and acknowledges the student's struggles, the student responds with effort and respect. This dynamic strengthens both sides. Mutual respect also reduces conflict because it shifts our focus from winning arguments to understanding each other. In a diverse and fast-changing world, respect becomes a bridge that connects people across differences. Practicing it requires humility, the willingness to accept that others see the world differently, and discipline, because respect must be shown even when emotions run high. When we cultivate mutual respect, we enrich not only our relationships, but also our character, creating a more harmonious and meaningful life. 3. Continuous self-improvement. Self-improvement in Stoicism is not about chasing perfection or external achievements. It is about becoming a better version of yourself every day. Epictetus warned that if you want to improve, you must be willing to appear foolish in the eyes of others. Because growth often requires stepping outside your comfort zone. Stoic improvement begins with honest self-awareness, recognizing your strengths, acknowledging your weaknesses, and setting goals that align with your values. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of asking yourself whether each action brings you closer to the person you want to become. This daily self-inquiry keeps your life purposeful and grounded. A practical example is a young leader who reflects each evening on his decisions, emotions, and interactions. By identifying what worked and what didn't, he gradually becomes wiser, calmer, and more effective. Self-improvement is not a sudden transformation, but a steady accumulation of small victories. It requires patience, discipline, and the willingness to learn from every experience. Through this process, we build resilience, clarity, and inner strength, the true foundations of a meaningful life. 4. Self-reliance and confidence. Self-reliance and confidence are essential qualities for anyone seeking a fulfilling life. Stoicism teaches that true confidence comes from knowing yourself deeply, your abilities, your limitations, and your values. It is not about impressing others or seeking validation. It is about trusting your own judgment and taking responsibility for your choices. To develop self-reliance, you must first practice honest self-criticism, understanding where you excel and where you need growth. This clarity allows you to set realistic goals and pursue them with determination. Marcus Aurelius embodied this principle. Despite being emperor, he focused not on external praise but on cultivating inner strength and wisdom. He understood that confidence rooted in self-knowledge is unshakable. When you rely too heavily on others for direction or approval, you weaken your independence. But when you build confidence through action, discipline, and reflection, you become capable of facing challenges with calm and courage. Self-reliance is not isolation. It is the ability to stand firmly on your own feet while engaging with the world from a place of strength and authenticity. 5. Facing fear and pain with Stoic courage. Fear is a natural human emotion, but Stoicism teaches that how we respond to fear determines our character. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that death and hardship are part of life, and therefore should not be feared. When we accept that some things are beyond our control, fear loses its power over us. Consider a marathon runner pushing through exhaustion and pain. Instead of interpreting discomfort as a signal to quit, they use it as information, a guide to adjust their pace, breathing, and mindset. This is Stoic courage in action, transforming adversity into an opportunity for growth. Pain, whether physical or emotional, becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. By observing our fears calmly, we learn to separate real danger from imagined threats. Stoic courage empowers us to face challenges with clarity, resilience, and purpose. It reminds us that every difficulty is a chance to strengthen our spirit and deepen our understanding of ourselves. 6. Embracing change. Change is one of life's only constants, and Stoicism teaches that resisting it leads to suffering. Instead, we must learn to accept and adapt to change with wisdom and flexibility. Marcus Aurelius faced pandemics, wars, and political turmoil during his reign. Yet he remained calm by reminding himself that change is part of nature's rhythm. In modern life, change is equally relentless. Technology evolves, careers shift, relationships transform. Those who adapt quickly not only survive, but thrive. Embracing change means viewing it as an opportunity rather than a threat. It requires letting go of rigid expectations and focusing on what you can control: your mindset, your actions, and your willingness to learn. When you stop fighting change, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. You become more resilient, more creative, and more open to new possibilities. Stoicism teaches that harmony comes from aligning yourself with the natural flow of life. By embracing change, you cultivate inner peace and position yourself to grow in ways you never imagined. 7. The Stoic art of letting go. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet liberating practices in Stoic philosophy. Warren Buffett once said that time is the only thing money cannot buy, a reminder that we must choose carefully what we hold on to. Stoicism teaches that clinging to unnecessary desires, fears, or expectations only creates suffering. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that we have power over our minds, not external events. When we release the need to control what lies beyond our reach, we gain inner freedom. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means prioritizing what truly matters. It means recognizing which habits, relationships, or beliefs drain your energy and courageously releasing them. This practice reduces emotional turmoil and strengthens resilience. By mentally preparing for different outcomes, Stoics minimize disappointment and cultivate acceptance. Letting go is an act of wisdom. It clears space for growth, clarity, and peace. When you stop holding on to what no longer serves you, you reclaim your time, your focus, and your sense of purpose. 8. Discovering self-worth. Independently. Self-worth, according to Stoicism, is not determined by status, wealth, or external recognition. It arises from living according to your principles and fulfilling your responsibilities with integrity. In a world obsessed with comparison, it's easy to feel inadequate, like Ruth, an office worker who constantly compared herself to colleagues in higher positions. But Stoicism teaches that true value lies in qualities such as honesty, patience, and consistent effort. When Ruth began appreciating her own virtues instead of measuring herself against others, her confidence grew. She realized that her worth was not defined by titles, but by the positive impact she made each day. Self-worth becomes stable when it is rooted in your own standards rather than society's shifting expectations. This mindset frees you from insecurity and allows you to live authentically. When you recognize your intrinsic value, you stop seeking approval and start contributing meaningfully to your work, relationships, and community. True self-worth is quiet, steady, and deeply empowering. 9. Live authentically. According to Stoic principles. Living authentically means aligning your actions with your values, not with the expectations of others. Stoicism teaches that inner peace comes from living in accordance with your nature and reason. When you constantly try to please others or chase external validation, you lose yourself. Authentic living requires honesty, with yourself and with the world. It also requires managing expectations. When you expect perfection from others or from yourself, disappointment becomes inevitable. A manager who expects flawless performance from employees will only create frustration. But when expectations are grounded in reality, relationships become healthier and more productive. Epictetus encouraged people to love their fate, not in a passive way, but as an acceptance of life's unfolding. This acceptance allows you to act with clarity instead of resistance. Living authentically means embracing your strengths, acknowledging your limitations, and choosing actions that reflect your true character. It is a path toward freedom, fulfillment, and genuine happiness. 10. Managing expectations and relationships in life. Stoicism teaches that managing expectations is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and emotional balance. Much of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from the unrealistic expectations we place on others and ourselves. When we expect people to always understand us, agree with us, or meet our needs perfectly, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Accepting that everyone has limitations, including us, creates space for compassion and patience. Emotional awareness plays a key role here. When we understand our own triggers and recognize the struggles others face, we respond with greater empathy. Managing expectations also empowers us. It reminds us that while we cannot control others, we can always control our reactions. This shift in perspective strengthens relationships and reduces unnecessary conflict. By practicing acceptance, we release the pressure to be perfect and allow ourselves to grow steadily and peacefully. Stoic expectation management is not about lowering standards. It is about aligning them with reality so that life becomes more harmonious and less painful. Conclusion. These 10 Stoic lessons are not optional ideas but essential tools for navigating life with clarity, strength, and purpose. By embracing truth, practicing respect, improving ourselves, and managing our expectations, we build a foundation for resilience and inner peace. Stoicism empowers us to face challenges with courage, adapt to change, and live authentically according to our values. When we apply these principles daily, we transform not only our mindset, but our entire experience of life. May these insights inspire you to live with greater intention, wisdom, and joy.